Man, that was one heck of a countdown just now.
There was no countdown, was there?
I saw a countdown. I don't know what you. Well, you're in Florida. You get no countdowns in Florida.
They don't
get
have
all the
countdowns here.
No countdowns for you. Welcome everyone. Welcome to the Best of Be Live with Ross and Rachel. Did you like how I kind of introed that? I just kind of jumped right in and did it.
That was awesome. You always get the show rolling, whether you even know whether we're live or not. You just start the conversation, and there we go. We're live, and we kind of talk our way into it.
I like it. What I do, I just like when you watch those talk shows where you can tell they're bantering back and forth, even if you know they're probably talking about Jeff, and we have a brief time with them, but we're going to try. Is it my turn?
It is, Rachel, and you may proceed at any time you would like.
I'm totally going to proceed. I am really excited about my pick tonight, and he and I were really trying to figure out, like, we had to hash out time to get him on because he's got a busy schedule. We've got a busy schedule. But this one really excited me. Now, Ross, you and I have talked about how there are obviously not just English speakers that are using Be Live. We have a lot of people from a lot of countries who are all broadcasting. So it's been hard for you and I because we're like, well, we just speak English.
I know.
I can't understand.
Simpletons.
Oh, I know. I feel like I really wish I knew more languages, but I don't. So I was so happy to come across Gio's English. And let me throw up the lower third here so you guys can see where to follow him. Also, it's in our pinned comment just below, so you can go visit their both of our picks pages. But Gio's English, Gio is amazing because he is basically teaching English as a second language through Facebook Live and through the conduit of Be Live. And so I loved coming across his video tab too and just seeing his videos. For one thing, he has got a ton of people that use his videos. It really does seem to me like I love when we figure out that there's this appetite for some of these topics and some of these some of these forms of content that our picks tend to do. So Gio is teaching English as a second language, and I love that because I know I've always been a big proponent of people using this in educational matters. I believe that was even one of my predictions on your live streaming for 2018. Was that this is going to be a lot of education coming through live streaming, and Gio really goes there. So I'm going to maximize this so you guys can see. But he makes excellent use. First of all, I really like his background, and I think he's going to share with us too that he put some effort into that. That's not an actual bookcase, but it really lends perfectly to what he's doing. It bespeaks of education and knowledge, and so he's on there, and then he speaks the entire program, not in English, but you can see that he is making use of the sharing of the screen or sharing of images. So it's really great too because he's almost like taking a textbook and he's sharing it through live video. Primarily he's speaking in a foreign language, but he's also then bringing in the English as well. And I love this too because I just like watching them. Like I was watching, I don't know if you guys ever do when you don't have any closed captioning or lower thirds or anything like that, and you're watching someone speak a different language you don't know, and just getting the intonations and the cadence. And I'm like, I kind of think I know what he's driving at and what he's saying. It's great. Plus, and I'm just going to remember I said self-deprecating. It's a big thing for me. I feel like I wish he would have taught me English when I was a kid because he was breaking these things down, excuse me, so easily, talking about misplaced modifiers. He shared at one point where he's like, so an adverb is you're adding something to a verb. So you're like, oh my gosh, what a concept.
Oh, that's a good way to do it.
I know. And I was like, I wish that would have been broken down like that for me when I was in English class. But I love that he does the slides. He'll also let me actually put this down here because he actually kind of promotes himself through his lower thirds. So he's got all of the words are in English, which I really like because that does challenge his viewers to say, you're here to learn English, and so we're going to have you read this in English. It's good practice. But he is speaking in their language as well. So it's not like they're going to show up on his broadcast and be lost because, oh my gosh, there's all these English words. That is not my primary language. He really does walk people through. And you do feel like you're in a classroom because he's very personable. He takes moments to kind of chuckle or laugh or just like have a moment. Okay, we're going to have a test. I do love that too. Like this whole lesson is on misplaced modifiers. He'll show like the improper use and the proper use. So making great use of BeLive's tools. There he is with the lower thirds. He's using the picture for the let's take a test. I've never been excited about taking a test, but the graphics are great. And so I like that he's got the consistency, the branding. This content works, and you can see that it's evidenced through the people that are sharing and watching his content. I believe this video had 54,000 views for itself. So he definitely knows what he's bringing. He's doing it well. It's being received well by his audience and by the people that want to learn what he has to offer. And I really am very excited to talk to him tonight too, just to learn about this and what he hopes, where he hopes to take it, what kind of things he's seeing about. I mean, it's just so neat to be able to teach somebody to speak another language. And you guys, English is not easy. I've heard that from so many people, that English is just really difficult to learn. So anyone who can break that down and teach them how to do it is awesome. So that is my pick. Gio's English is my pick for this week. I am happy to bring him to the show tonight, and we'll get to talk to him in a few minutes.
Well, there's so much that I like about this. I'm not even sure where to start. First of all, the background looks awesome. It's obviously not a real bookshelf, but thematically it fits in so nicely, and it's well done. That even though you know in your head at a certain point, like, or at least I do because I've seen enough of these, that I know that he's not really sitting in front of a bookcase. It looks so good, and the coloring and everything fits together so well that you really don't think about it after a couple of seconds. And everything that his whole presentation says, I'm teaching you something, from, the jacket without a tie and the books in the background to the style that he does his different graphics in. You even notice that like the lower third matches the color of the arrow in that one in the graphic there. He's got the white text explaining where he's at in doing it. And it's so great to have a topic, right, that has a large appeal, right? Well, there's people all over the world wanting to learn English so that they can do business with people who speak English. They can have tourists in their country that they can help, whatever different reason. They have family who speak English. So many different reasons people would want to learn English. And there's an unlimited almost market for what he's doing. And I love seeing people doing different things with BeLive. And this is something we really haven't talked about, using it in this type of a teaching manner. And the cards are so well done. I mean, we grow up and we learn to speak English, and we often don't think about what it's a modifier and what purpose of an adverb or an adjective, and the fact that in a lot of languages they don't come right before the noun. It's very, or the adverb doesn't come right before the verb. And to see the sentences that he chooses and the examples, everything's meticulous. Like it's just very conscientious, very well done. And to people who want to learn English, I think this is really a fun way. People think about, listening to language tapes, they study a textbook on their own. This is another way that people can go about doing it. And the more different forms, because people learn in different ways, and different types of learning also complement things for the same person. So I think it's wonderful that Gio is using BeLive TV in order to teach people English, and it's a really well-produced show as a broadcast as well. So excellent choice, Rachel.
Thank you. I try. I'm really pleased about it. And he's been so gracious too. Just we're commenting back and forth. That's one of my favorite parts too, Ross. Is we're about to be able to share with our viewers. Is we actually get to talk to these broadcasters and learn not just from what we see in their shows, but we get to like actually talk to them and say, so how did you do that? Why did you make that choice? Or how's this going? And really help all of us, because we all just want to be better broadcasters if we live stream. And these are some pros that we have. So it's exciting.
Yes. So it's time to vote. Yes. And how do people do that? Well, if you'd like to vote for Chris and Simple Social Live, you type Ross into the comments.
Nice to meet you all. Thank you.
Of course. And seriously, I am so proud to be able to feature your broadcast. How long have you been doing these English speaking videos and tutorials through Facebook Live?
Rachel, I started to teach last July, first time, and my first class has got 100,000 viewers.
Wow.
And that's really inspiring. People are really getting good feedback because in that case, I'm involving my daughter as well. My daughter is 8 years old. She has got a proper British accent, and I live in Cambridge in England. So we both are, started a new kind of a show. That's worked very well because people really.
Of what's driving so many people to want to take your course and want to get started speaking English?
Rose, this is the way because there are two types of teachers are there. One type of teachers are traditional teachers, classroom teachers.
Right,
so
right.
They teach only in the classroom, so they're traditional teachers. Those who we learned all English from. So I'm trying to be like a YouTube teacher or a Facebook teacher. That's me different.
If you think about it, people will look things up on YouTube to learn how to do something. This is just yet another thing they can learn how to speak English through your videos. So I seriously thank you so much for being on with us tonight and sharing. And we're excited. I want to go look at your videos with your daughter when those start. So I want to go check those out.